If you're just now tuning into the East by Southeast Spoken Word Showcase, my name is Saldaña and you're watching Channel Austin. I'm here on the set with Kaye Abikahled. How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Abby, you've been on the show with us almost every year since we first started.
I have, and I've enjoyed it so much.
We've been glad to have you. What have you done since the last year that we've seen you?
Well, I have had to cut back a little bit, but I'm still visiting schools. I talked to school children in February to the first grade, and I read them some poetry that they could understand. And they all sent me a thank you note in their own spelling. I had the best time reading 22 thank you letters in bigger or smaller and funny spelling.
That's awesome. I really enjoy working with kids as well. I work at a middle school, and I work with some of the kids with poetry. Like I've been talking throughout the show, I think it's necessary for us poets to share our poetry with the younger crowd.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because they will later on in their lives, they'll remember what they heard, and it often helps them get along in life and put a better understanding on what their impressions, and they can fall back on lines that they remember.
I believe that with all of my heart. Well, I commend you for doing that.
Thank you.
What did you bring to share with us today?
I have 5 or 6 poems I'd like to read, some newer ones, some older ones, and I hope you like them.
I'm sure that we will. I hope you enjoy.
Late night reading, chasing insomnia, reading in bed, turning pages of poetry that cling to my heart and wrench it raw, reading into the early morning hours till poets' flaming lines blur, and I lay the book to rest. Half asleep, I feel for the bookmark, a small card hiding in gray linen roses vanished. Spine up, I fish annoyed, rising from comfortable reclining, leaning over the bed, scaring dust motes, getting up, miffed and lift sheets and pillow, capitulating in defeat. Days later, crumpled and soaked, limped and leached, stuck in the wall of the laundry's final spin, illegible, the single card my daughter gave me. I really must get better bookmarks. Red Chinese, silk perhaps, with brightly colored ribbons, tasseled, that make a statement and stay near my pillow. I need some of those. Slipped into final red pages, they'll close eyes and mind on the winters and writers' comforting lines. A poem lost. I love you, Horowitz, he said, and blew his nose. She turned and splashed her drink. A poem that struck my heart. Mute a Brooklyn bar's near black paneling, tobacco smells and cold beer, and the boss bearing his soul. I came across the poem near the end of a yellowed paperback anthology, Love in Brooklyn, its title. Lines ringing in blue truth, wrenching my soul. Exhaling held breath, I crimped the page to mark. So why can't I put my hands on the poem now? I have searched for a month for this lost poem as for lost treasure through thousands of brittle anthology pages, and I keep looking for a few sonnet lines that no one has ever heard of but me. Get well wishes. I sent this poem to one of our workshop leaders, a retired professor from the University of Texas. Please accept this card and missive. He is hoping that you feel regressive. I'm praying for your health with might. This poet friend would like to see you feeling better by degrees. Give your poetic muse the spurs to take you, fly you through creative airs, and write a fabulous, melodious tale, your life of wonder, in print and seen by us yonder, to leave a marker for posterity on earth that has your footprints and your legacy embedded in perpetuity. And we, your students and disciples, can only hope to achieve a likeness and know that all along it can't be done. To match who taught us well, plus some. With grateful heart, I send this dedication to one who taught poetic liberation, opened verbal heights to write and spell in American prose's cathedral. Here's looking at you. Please get well. Here's one about my yard. Microecology. For years too busy, we ignored pleadings of the green people, the Save Our Springs volunteers who want to keep Austin clean and green, who strive to restore Texas to its former tree-shaded beauty. In the yard, live oaks waged a losing struggle against water-thirsty scrub junipers, those invasive water hogs who siphon 50 gallons of groundwater a day. Summers ruled in timid silence, blazing their withering hot afternoons year after year, soil going stale, a powdery gray raining brittle juniper needles. In desperation, I took a chainsaw, cut a swath one fall morning, husband watching from the driveway. In rising consternation, all winter he cast an accusing glance at the damage. Spring brought basket grass blooming, twist-leaf yuccas where none were before, a live oak raising its bent trunk, spreading healthy growth. Copper Canyon daisies, thistles, black-eyed Susan, and birds gathering in flocks. We heard owls hooting one to another and set out a shack that boasts an owner. Butterflies lilt and loop their flutter over skullcaps and senna. The hillside echoes with the call of doves, of cardinals and mockingbirds' mimicry. Is it true, or do I imagine, that the yard is cooler this summer? Detritus scree now upholstered in splendid green. Earth winds. Winds of history, shiftless sentinels over earth. Calamitous winds of 21st century wars, insanity's folly. Grim reminders of fallen souls that spilled their lives into a blood-soaked earth, summer and winter mud of wars. Storm winds recall your seasons from all points of earth, turn riptides into calming waves of promise rainbows, spread a ring of harmony from west to east, dew of kindness worldwide, and let all nations take note. Chime a gong of peace and carry a message of peace as your gong song of brotherly love, persistent around and around the hemisphere until dialogue is established among nations. Let every government hear and respond to this same song. Let peace ring like poetry. Let a new spirit surge and crest in earth winds of reconciliation, nation to nation, east to west, end to end. And here's something a little lighter. Band. 5 musicians feel their way around melodies ready to play that set the mood. Dear folk audience, here to forget the day's drudge and humiliation, thinking, let me sit, relax to sound anesthesia. Let me do the backstroke, drown in Western song, just leave me alone, thank you. Tuesday, Tex Americana at Threadgill's, Barbara and her band, in cowboy boots, hat and boots. She sings her songs, and the band, straight from work, in jeans and work shirts, strum stroke, drum and mandolin, fine tunes and fiddles, her vocals gliding into the band's theme song. In sync and rhythm now, they pick up speed. Bass gives way to the drummer who hands the melody to the mandolin, and Barbara's voice is shining. The fiddler follows her lyrics, an evening shadow harmonizes, finishes her sentences. Strings pitter-pattering the song, picking up her tune until she hands him the solo, and he launches like a rocket. Song dreamers lift heads, straighten shoulders, tap follow Richard Bowden's passion. Music is his love, he's ad-libbing. His bow is dancing, skidding, he's going wild. We are yelling and clapping, calling his name. He doesn't miss a beat, bows his fiddle double timing the tapping of our feet. Barbara and Richard aced our evening retreat. Thank you.